My book is short, so it's an easy read. It's written tongue in cheek, and it's called All Up in Your Business. And business is spelled BIZNESS, managing your business crap. I've taken about 30 different topics and narrowed it down. It includes performance management reviews, asking for a pay raise, working on a team with other departments, um, office affairs. So I explain this, and then I offer my advice as to how it should be dealt with.
I create clear thinking and decisive leaders who can amplify their influence. Contact me to find out how I can help you or your organisation. And today our guest is Julianna Newland. How are you doing, Julianna?
Very fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. Julianna, do you have a favourite animal?
That represents me?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Oh my gosh. A horse.
Cool. Why a horse?
It's a sturdy animal. It's fast. It's beautiful. They have been tamed. Many of them have been tamed. And I enjoy watching horse races.
Oh, okay, great. Thank you. And tell us a little bit more about you.
All right. I spent 24 years in management for a Fortune 500 company. And other than that, I also was working for two nonprofits, and for the Indiana state government. I worked in the area of public affairs and employee communications in those two areas. And mainly I was a lobbyist here in Indiana, and learned and executed a lot of projects in the government affairs arena.
Brilliant. Thank you. So, do men and women interact in the workplace differently when it comes to performance management?
I think so. And part of it is because I think women historically, and even in this day and time, have unique challenges compared to men when they are reviewed for their performance management. I think that many women don't even have the opportunity to be promoted or to work on projects that would help them get promoted. And so that's a distinct disadvantage for them when it's time for their performance to be reviewed. And whether we like it or not, it's still a male-driven workplace for the most part. It's changed a little bit recently, but I still think it's male-driven. There was a Harvard study that came out within the past few months that stated that women, compared to male managers, women managers tend to promote men and women equally, but male managers are more likely to promote men.
Why do you think that's still the case?
Tribalism. I think men support men because that's the way they grow up. And I think that is the way they think they're going to make advancement in their business or company. And it must be a behavior that is rewarded or that's successful, or it wouldn't continue.
Okay. So how does that show up then, the differences between men and women, for example, in asking for pay rises?
Sometimes it could be as simple as whether or not women are allowed an opportunity to be a part of a project or a team where they can really show their skills, especially with other managers on the team, or at least paying attention to what's going on. So I think that women, if they're not chosen, well, let me back up. Women need to promote themselves, and they need to market themselves. That's on them. And I think they need to make sure that their manager and other managers are aware of their skills and what they bring to the business and the workplace. And I think that women need to find those opportunities of projects and teams where they can ask to be a part of it and then show their skills.
All right, then. So, how does it show up in terms of pay reviews then?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
How does the difference show up for things like pay reviews?
The differences show up in the fact that women don't get promoted. I think that's the main glaring example, is that women are not promoted during the performance review. Their their soft skill sets are not given much value in the workplace, and their communication skills are not given as much value as they should, I think. And that's how it shows up. I think, especially if they have a male manager, I think women need to work extra hard at getting the male manager to recognize the woman's what she brings to the table, what her skills are, what her accomplishments, and they need to speak up and advocate for. Like I preach this over and over, but women really need to advocate for themselves.
And how do they do that?
Speak up, provide information to their boss and to other managers that helps to explain the value they bring and the accomplishments they have. Also, I think it helps for the females to find mentors in the business or the company that can help guide them through these processes, such as performance management reviews, and can help provide some guidance and can help talk them up especially if the mentor is at a director level or above. The mentor can help talk about their mentee and bring them to the attention of the other managers.
Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Tell me about your book.
My book. My book is short, so it's an easy read. It's tongue in cheek, written tongue in cheek, and it's called All Up in Your Business. And business is spelled BIZNESS, managing your business crap. I've taken about 30 different topics and narrowed down the descriptions of them. It includes performance management reviews, asking for a pay raise, working on a team with other departments, um, office affairs, and using office equipment for personal use. So I explain this, as I said, it's written tongue in cheek and it's witty. And then I offer my advice as to how it should be dealt with by the person reading the book.
Hey, then. So, could you share some of the anecdotes there or advice that you've given in your book?
Yes, one of the things, very easy one. One of the things that I mention under office affairs is don't do it. Just very simple. Just don't do it, because you may think it's hidden, but it's not. There are distinctive clues that come about, and it never ends happily, and never that I've witnessed. And so that's my common sense advice with office affairs, and also simple with personal use of office equipment. Unless your supervisor says it's okay, which most of them won't, just don't do it. The office equipment is for the office work, and your boss. And in my book, I say your boss doesn't come and sit on your couch and watch your TV and that sort of thing. So why should you think it's okay for you to use your office equipment for personal use?
Okay. All right, then. What can an employer do to make
Uh,
sure that the genders are balanced and are treated fairly?
I think it obviously centers on the human resources department to help um, to advocate and to help make sure that the management understands that they have to be very non-tribal in their reviews of females and opportunities given to females. And I think that needs to start at the top down. The women and men need to see the upper management, the executive management, behaving in the same way with these positive behaviors. And women need to be recognized for their accomplishments. Men do too. Don't get me wrong, I'm not male bashing or anything, but it's just been so difficult. And I experienced this myself. It's been so difficult for women to get a first shot at these advantages and opportunities. And I think that the message of support needs to come from the top all the way down. And it can be reinforced by human resources departments, and it should be carried out through the line management.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Is there some helpful lessons learned that you could share with the audience before we wrap up for today?
I think the point that I mentioned several times before, actually 2 points. One is advocate for yourself. I think that was something that I learned quickly in the 24 years that I was working for a Fortune 500 company. It was very male dominated. And so there was some apprehension toward allowing me to have opportunities to show my skill set. And I just had to advocate for myself. And I figured if I don't advocate for myself, really no one else will. So I think that was a key learning for me in the job force, especially working for a Fortune 500 company. And then also a mentor. In my 24 years, I've had wonderful mentors, male and female, who were very helpful in guiding me along the way, especially in the early years of my career. And then I mentored some younger women who went on to law school, and appreciated that opportunity to learn from them also as part of the mentorship.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
You're very welcome. I enjoyed it.
Great. Thank you out there for tuning in to the Maverick Paradox podcast. I'm Judith Germain, your host, and I hope you've enjoyed today's conversation.
The Maverick Paradox Magazine. The Maverick Paradox Magazine is for the pathologically curious. Written by a swagger of socialized mavericks who are divergent thinkers, the magazine tackles the biggest issues affecting maverick leaders today. You might be a business owner or a leader within an organization who wants to have your thinking challenged, to be exposed to a diversity of thought, or to learn from diverse experts in their fields. If so, the Maverick Paradox Magazine is for you. Join the swagger at themaverickparadox.com and engage in the conversation.